after the bar takes me out, I just go on Twitter and I just start posting stuff, and I start making fun of Rachel Mitchell, calling her fat and sweaty pants because she likes to wear sweaty sweatpants. And some random troll starts attacking me. Some random trolls guy goes by the name of AZJ Paul starts attacking me really, really nasty. Start taking screenshots. I know he's somehow connected with Rachel Mitchell just because of the nature of the post. He knows everything about me, starts making fun of me for being assaulted, starts making fun of me for the state bar, things like that. What the state bar did to me, all of a sudden disappears, right? Just randomly disappears. I'm told NAACP gets involved in Jamal's case, in Pennington's case. Mm-hmm. They tell me you have to stop tweeting, otherwise Mitchell's going to yank Jamal's case from integrity.
Do you have that in writing?
Yeah. Okay, so Mitchell sent Miller a text message where she says, I'm going to give the case to integrity review. And in the top of it, I don't know if you've seen it. I put it on Twitter today, I think.
Okay.
She cut and pasted one of my tweets and sent it to him. And he tells me, and I have a text from him saying that my Twitter is jeopardizing Jamal's case. He's saying that Mitchell agreed to send the case to integrity review, but because I'm tweeting about the case.
Oh, you're going to jeopardize the case, or shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And then I have her text message to him with my tweet criticizing the bar. But so I knew that Mitchell wanted me to stop tweeting. Especially when there's a first, like, it'd be like her saying, if you don't vote for me, we're not going to review his case. This happens before I ever hear the name Paul Stout. And the text message of her griping to Miller about my text messages is before the name Paul Stout ever shows up. Or AZJ Paul, right? So this is like months. So anyway, I hear the name AZJ Paul. Jamal gets sentenced, and then nothing happens. And then I start talking to a friend of mine. Her name is Rachel Alexander, and she tells me that the state bar of Arizona uses paid trolls to attack her. The bar.
To attack Rachel.
Yeah, attack
Rachel. They've been going after her forever.
But that's what she tells me. And I go, well, Mitchell does the same thing. And she goes, really? And I'm like, yeah, there's this guy with his picture. He was using his picture.
And then she did a story on this, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, he actually used his real name. So I looked at his Facebook stuff, took some screenshots, stuff like that. And I go, yeah, this guy, I think he works for MCSO or Maricopa County Attorney, and he's an attack dog for Mitchell. So then she gets back to me and says, that's not an employee, that's her husband, or that's her fiance. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, literally, you're telling me Rachel Mitchell was attacking me with her husband.
That must have been a moment for you to get that news.
No, what I hear is like, she goes, his fiance, or her fiance. I'm like, huh? Okay, I skipped over it because it was a text message. Mm-hmm. Then I go, like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what the hell are you, like, all right, wow. And she goes, that's going to be a huge story because he was nasty. And to back up for a second, there's something called the Victim's Bill of Rights, which means that if you're a victim of a crime, and I was a victim of a felony when I was assaulted, you have the right to dignity, confidentiality, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And basically, the prosecutor's office that prosecutes the crime on your behalf can't use that prosecution against you. But he knew about my assault because Mitchell, the chief Maricopa County attorney, was using my victim status from a crime they prosecuted against me. Can you believe that?
Hold on, dude. I'm absorbing it. Okay, go ahead.
He found out about it, and he was using it because she told him.
You know you can't write this shit in Hollywood.
I know. That's how she's using. Okay, but the dumbass. But this is the thing, though. When he first started attacking me in like November of 23, his name was Paul Stout. Like, and he had his own picture. Okay. And I go back and I take screenshots and I go, okay, that's how I know the name, Paul Stout. Then he changes it to AZJ Paul because he wants to go anonymous after he had already used his real name. Like, that's the only way I knew his name. Like,
genius, bro.
It is a dumbass, but. So then Rachel, and at the same time I'm talking to Rachel, another random troll shows up, and this is the mother lode. It's a guy named Tilden Katz, right? But this is the thing. Paul already had Tilden Katz when he started coming after me as AZJ Paul and as Paul Stout. You understand what I'm saying?
So you already had that profile Tilden
He already
Katz?
had it up. So there's nothing stopping him from using Tilden Katz instead of his own name. But so,
and we'll get to the out of state stuff in a minute. But he had a wider operation than just you.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna ballpark 20 different names and accounts. But he deletes AZJ Paul in February of 24.
Okay.
And he admitted in court that AZJ Paul was him.
Yep.
And he said he was coming after me, right? He said that and making fun of me for being assaulted. And he said he deleted it in February 24. So 5 months later, Rachel publishes her story in June of 24 about Paul Stout, the fiance to Rachel Mitchell, is attacking. And he wasn't just attacking me, he was attacking reporters. So then she writes a story, and then another troll starts coming after both me and Rachel. That's the guy, Tilden Katz, who's impersonating a real lawyer out in Chicago, claims to be a law school professor, was my law school professor, accuses me of plagiarism, accuses me of domestic violence, accuses me of bestiality,
infers that you were his student.
No, he flat out, he didn't say infer, he said it. He just said it. Yeah. He said he pulled me aside for plagiarism in law school.
That's right. Okay.
And there's a real Tilden Katz who's a lawyer in Chicago or Boston.
Did you have a professor named Tilden Katz in law school?
No.
Sir? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And the picture is from some guy in Russia he found.
And you found that through the metadata.
Yeah, Google search.
Yeah.
You can find the picture. He comes after me full bore 24/7 for a good 2 months. I don't know who it is. At first I think it's a cop, right? I think it's a cop, like Mitchell hired somebody. I think it's one of those trolls that the state bar hired, because Mitchell says that, or Rachel Alexander told me that the state bar hires pay trolls to come after guys. I thought maybe it's somebody for the bar. Eventually I put the pieces together, right? That it's Paul Stout, husband to Rachel Mitchell. The way I figure it out for sure is I Google the name, or I do a court search for Paul Stout, find a restraining order from 2004, I think it is, where a woman, a female, says, a crazy man, a total batshit crazy psycho named Paul Stout attacked me and threw my elderly mother down to the floor, and I want a restraining order, right? Name is, all I know, the name I knew was Paul Stout. I didn't know the initials. I didn't know the last name. I didn't know any of it, the date of birth. I take that restraining order, take a snap picture of it, and I put it up on, this is in July of 2024. I put it up and I go, hey, bro, you know who this is? And guess who blocks me right then and there? That guy, Tilden Katz, blocks me right then and there. So I know it's Stout. I look up at some other stuff that Tilden Katz has been doing.
Before, this is a really important part of this whole thing. You told me this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Definitively, to know that Tilden Katz's account is under the control of Paul Stout. Under oath, he admitted other accounts, but didn't directly say, okay, this is...
He denied it.
He denied it. Yeah. Okay, however, you were telling me about a post or two with information that could only be through his knowledge, backdoor knowledge. I think that's really important to talk about.
Right,
that.
So eventually... we'll get to it, but there's a restraining order. They want me to stop tweeting about Paul Stout. Yeah. He says that in July of 24, he starts tweeting me about my assault, about what I've been doing in defense of his woman, right? His big woman, Rachel Mitchell. In July is specifically what he says, right? So in writing, in the petition, which he said Rachel Mitchell helped him write, so they wrote it together, because they're that much in love. He says he starts tweeting me in July. The first date is July 1st, 2024. Right? Nothing before then. His first tweet at me is July 2024. He deleted AZJ Paul 5 months before then. Right? So he wasn't tweeting at me.
So where else was he doing it from?
There was only one account that was doing it.
One other account, and if you look at the specific post, you look at also the time frame, which I was telling you about earlier. If you look at from when she swore in to when that got really active, all this stuff, then like 90 days from that date. And so I just wanted to kind of slow down on that piece because I think that's a kind of a loose end they have on the record right now that's bullshit. And so we can prove that from later from his stuff. Okay, so go ahead.
The other thing too is he admitted to AZJ Paul, and AZJ Paul made fun of me. He said, "Why'd your client cold cock you in court?" Guess who asked me the exact same question with the exact same word, cold cock. Exact same word.
Racial?
No, Tilden Katz.
Tilden.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing that's really dumb about this whole thing, again, back to if I'm saying it right, I think it's prima facie, whatever. Self-evident, right?
Prima facie, yeah.
The fact that on the record they admitted that Rachel was a co-writer on the legal document is in and of itself like a bar violation.
Yeah, we're talking
because the whole content of this is her being involved with influencing.
Yeah.
As an elected official.
Yeah. You mean for the injunction?
Well, no, just the overall thing, because again, my contention is the fact that this is like, there's a bigger political issue here, right? I have another initiative called the PATAC Act, which is that husband and wife teams in Arizona and all throughout the country get in power positions so they can play bullshit games and play the elitist structure. Bunch of examples. The Brnoviches, right? Both the AG and the judge. The Bustamantes, right? The largest private prosecutor in the state contract-wise, and then his wife's on the bench ruling on custody cases with the same litigants he's prosecuting. So she's making money on the law firm she has community interest in, right? Same families, right? There's a case called the LeMay case a few years ago about that. You've got...
Mike Bailey?
Mike Bailey, no. You've got the Pataks, right? Right now, the director of DCS is Catherine Patak, covering up for Katie Hobbs' bribes, basically, with Simon Couture, while Pat Patak was Doug Ducey's comms guy, and now is over at AZ Commerce. My point is, with Rachel and Paul, this is the same thing.
He's a nobody, though.
But he's under oath. She's an elected official. They've already admitted by saying that she co-authored the legal document that we are collaborators, we are conspirators in all this.
Yeah, obviously.
Self-evident. Go ahead.
So Tilden Katz is coming after me really, really hard, and then I just start asking questions like, who the hell's like, why is she, I just want to know, like, why is she hiding this guy? Like, why is she like, everybody assumes she's a lesbian, right? So what did she want everybody to know?
Why would everybody assume she's a lesbian?
Because look at her, man. Brnovich thought she was.
Yeah.
Okay, enough. Some people do.
Okay.
Like, what's the downside to her saying, "Hey, I got a dude, we're hooking up, we're gonna get married"? Like, what's the problem?
Could be a lot of reasons.
Okay, I want to know why she's hiding the dude. So I start asking questions. So, like, for example, I googled the name Paul Stout Jr., and that's how I found the police reports in Anthem. Right, find the restraining order, the woman, his neighbor. Then I found the there's a conviction for some guy in Texas.
What was the year of the restraining order again?
2007, I think. Or 4, maybe something like that. A ways back, and it was out here on like Osborne and 7th Street. And then I found a conviction. This is what freaked them out. So I find a conviction for some guy named Paul Stout Jr., and he's a junior in Texas for child molestation who did time. All I did to go, is this your dude? Is that why you're hiding him? Right? And it blows up. Turns out she files a bar complaint demanding I be disbarred.
For that literal question?
Yes, for that question, and for criticizing her on X, on social media for months.
Did she file that one while she was already?
That's one of the two. Yeah, that's one of the ones ongoing.
The fresh one?
Yeah, it's one of the ongoing ones. I have a copy of it, and and I'm just putting stupid crap on just like, why are you hiding him? Was he Al Bundy? He robbed the shoe store and you helped him get away with it. Like, it's not about him. It's like, are you helping him do stuff? Like, are you abusing your power to help him do stuff? Is that why you're hiding him?
Well, it's all, you know what? All this stuff, I mean, with all the joking aside, like, to me, it's like the 1-8 issue, that's the most important issue of all this stuff. And all, plus how they went after you guys. But it's also like, it's really comical.
It's bizarre, yeah. It's surreal. Surreal.
But it's not funny.
It's not funny.
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's why I say it's Hazard County, just more corrupt and not funny. That's how I describe it. And I just started asking these questions about him. And why is she hiding him? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then Lemons, and I just do that for about a month or so. And then Lemons.
And between shoe caper and the restraining
Yeah.
order, you have like probable cause to ask these questions.
I have probable cause just from the First Amendment.
Well, of course, but I'm just saying, even if they want, that's what I said, kind of pinning that aside for a minute. Like, you're a fucking lawyer, dude. You investigate. That's what you do.
And what? This is the thing, though. Then I go back on Tilden Katz. I find some associated accounts, and then what I find is he's running an election interference operation, election meddling. Do you know that story of that meme in New York? The guy got prison because he
made a meme
that says that you can vote by phone.
Yes, I know. I remember that one very well. Yes.
And these dudes in Russia got indicted. I mean, they're not going to be prosecuted, but they got indicted for he was doing the exact same thing. He was doing it for Sheriff Lamb against Kerry Lake. He's doing it for Stephen Richer against Justin Heap. He was doing it for a guy named Dr.
With sock accounts. With fake social media
burner accounts. But Tilden Katz was the main one. He was doing it in New Mexico. He accused the Democratic governor of being a sexual predator, a female, of being a sexual predator.
So you're alleging all this election interference between all these races was him from the Tilden.
One, yeah, that was the main one. He had other accounts too, though.
How many more do you think he had?
Well, I was thinking maybe 20 ballpark.
Well, how many do you have you actually found?
Oh, I'm going to say 10.
10 so far?
Yeah. Oh, no, this was like last year that I was looking. But Tilden Katz was the main one. Then he's deleted some of them too.
So how were you defining that he was under control of the account? Was it just the same language, same writing
because
style,
he was
similar posts?
And he was talking to himself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he was doing that a lot. Like, he would come after me as Tilden Katz, and the only way I found the other accounts...
Would you say in your 20 years as being a lawyer and being around handwriting experts and evidence your whole career, that if a handwriting expert would come in or a typist guy, it would probably be the same guy?
The only reason I found the other accounts was because he was talking to himself coming after me as Tilden Katz. But the worst thing that I saw was Rachel hates Abraham Hamadeh. She hates him. And Katz was working for... What's his name? Blake Masters. You remember Blake Masters?
Mm-hmm. Now, when you say he's working for him, you got paper on this?
Well, just the Tilden Katz stuff.
Okay.
Abe sends a tweet to... Tilden sends a tweet to Abe saying, "How many men have you had behind you?" Abe's gay. Nobody knows it, but he is, right? And so he put that out there, not because, because he wanted the readers of Twitter to see that, the dude's gay.
So in other words, what he was trying to do was do a bigotry messaging,
gay shaming
to the GOP base that would resonate with that, so they wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah, he did.
That's fucking disgusting. You're a fucking piece of shit cocksucker. Ugh.
Well, he admitted
It's so fucked up, bro.
It is totally fucked up. I even said, because I knew Abe, and I was actually surprised. I was like,
I've been really trying not to swear a lot lately too, because I'm running for governor. I'm trying to be like a little more serious, everybody. But fuck, this shit makes me cuss.
Because the guy is, I don't personally like Abe. I don't think he's a very good lawyer, but dude, he's Arab Muslim. It's bad enough. I think he's Druze actually, but the Druze. But and then
wait, let's back that up. When you say it's bad enough, you say it's bad enough because he gets attacked a lot because of those.
Blake Masters calls him out. Says I remember those they had
trying to equate the fact he's a Muslim that means he's a terrorist. That bullshit.
Yeah,
that's garbage.
And then you remember when Blake Masters was saying, he has no blood in the game or skin in the game, because he doesn't have kids. Right. You know what that was?
What?
That was a slur. That was in. Slur. Yeah, that's what that was. So Blake Masters was in on it. Yeah. So then he says that Abe is gay. The other account, one named Telma Ferreira, he says that, we overheard you, hook up with your staffer in the bathroom. It'd be a shame if that got out. I think you have the tweet. I sent it to you somewhere.
Dude, I've been going this is all from my perspective, just trying to take this whole thing in. There's so much I'm going to have to learn on this, but I'm just on the periphery, bro, at this point, just trying to get my head around this, because really what this is, in my opinion, should grow into is, number one, is Rachel. Listen, Rachel, this podcast is a lot of fun. All right, we're having fun. We're doing a little fun stuff. We're doing a little serious stuff. We're really trying to make sure that the public understands what's going on here, because this is just the first of many follow-up episodes until you fucking resign, Rachel.
I think she should go to prison.
Well, yeah, for sure.
She said me have to get shot. She said me have to get shot by those deputies.
Whoa! All right, let me segue. Is this when you were telling me earlier about the cop car, the MCSO car?
No, this is about the full I'd gone sovereign citizen.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, a little. All right. Go ahead.
So anyway, I was talking about Abraham.
That's a big statement you said.
Yeah. So Abraham Hamadeh. So I'll jump ahead a little bit. So this is like July of 24. August 18th. And I'm just putting out stupid tweets, right? Making fun of Rachel Mitchell for being fat.
And by the way, before you get in and dive into this rabbit hole, the FBI is aware of the election interference, right?
I know that now. But not I didn't think the FBI knew anything about this crap.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I got to tell you about it. Another one too before we go too far.
Okay.
There's another name, another Paul Stout somewhere, some guy who claims to be in California. He tweets out a threat against Juan Merchan, that he wants to electrocute Juan Merchan in New York City for the Trump trial. I see that. I look at the tweets. It sounds kind of like this psycho, Paul Stout. And I just quote tweet and say, hey, by the way, Alvin Bragg, this is Rachel Mitchell's husband or fiance. And he's the one who wants to electrocute Little do I know that blew that set off all the alarm bells. Like the whole world blew up. And I tagged the FBI. Like this is Twitter. Like I'm like in the bathroom, just this looks like it'd be funny, that sort of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Apparently, everybody took it really seriously, like really, really seriously. So that Mitchell even had to call New York to tell him, "Oh, that's not my husband." But she's saying it's not her husband. He gave his dog away. Stout gave her dog away because he was worried that any second the FBI was going to show him and take him to arrest him. He testified like that.
But wait a second. If it's just a joke and no truth behind it, that's some weird reaction and activity.
Especially when your fiance is the county attorney. Like,
and why is she calling New York? That's very abnormal.
Like it's almost like they're covering something up.
It's like the Streisand effect, yes.
I don't know what that is, but
that means when you're trying to cover something up and not have it talked about, it gets talked about more because you're trying to cover it.
Oh, like Watergate kind of thing.
Same kind of thing.
All right. And then I hear this later on, he tells the FBI that it was actually me impersonating him sending that text. And the FBI was actually investigating me for it. I can find that later on. Which was impossible because then it would have had to known who he was a year before I knew who he was. So anyway, on August, so this is the most important date, August 18, 2024, Stephen Lemons of the New Times, I talked to him a couple times. He asked Rachel Mitchell at a press conference, is Paul Stout your husband or is he your fiance? She freaks out. She has a hissy fit. In the background, you can hear, next question, right? Mm-hmm. She refuses to answer the question. It's kind of weird. Like, why?
Kind of a yes or no question. Pretty basic.
Like, I don't talk about my personal life, okay? Why wouldn't, we're getting, people want to be happy, right? What's the downside to saying this is my husband, right? Like, what is the downside?
The downside is the fact that you're trying to hide the fact that he's doing bullshit behind the scenes and doing illegal activity and violating the bar ethics in your name for political dirty tricks. That's why.
But 4 months before that, in February of that same year, he's the one who held the Bible, and she thanked him profusely when she was being sworn in. But she's refusing to say who he is at the press conference. That's August 18, 2023. August 23rd, or 24, August 23rd, 2024, that's when 3 deputies and the FBI show up at my house. So 5 days after that press conference is when they come to my house. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's when they tell me I got to stop talking about Rachel Mitchell or Paul Stout.
Or what?
You know what he said? He goes, if you don't stop, the FBI is going to come back and you're going to be prosecuted in federal court for cyber stalking. He said that. He actually stapled the federal cyber stalking statute to the document.
So wait a second. The purpose of their visit was there to inform you that you may be charged if you don't behave.
Well, I know what the real purpose was, to scare the living shit out of me. off the record so nobody finds out because it's illegal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason they came to my house was to scare the living shit out of me. Nobody finds out, and I stop talking about a dude named Paul Stout. And if I don't, the FBI is going to put me in prison for a real long time. That's what the purpose was. But actually, I have the recording, the body cam, where he says that, like, if you don't stop, the FBI is going to come back, right? And I talked to my neighbor about it. He tells me, yeah, they were at before they came to your place. You saw the video.
Mm-hmm.
They were asking me for directions to get to your house because they got lost. And I go, why would they need directions? Why don't they just use the GPS or call dispatch? Like, why are they asking? And you can hear on the recording the FBI agent, dumbass named Wyatt Storm.
Trying to keep it offline.
It's off the record. It's a black op.
Yeah.
Right? Same day. And that's when he serves me with an injunction saying that I got to stop. Literally says I got to stop tweeting about Paul Stout and Rachel Mitchell because I've been mean and he's butthurt. Right? Like, I'm not allowed to criticize a politician on social media. I request the documents from MCSO. Oh, during the when the when FBI agent's talking to me, he tells me that Maricopa County drafted so the Maricopa County Attorney's Office drafted the documents. They emailed it to the FBI, and then the FBI served it on me. And I asked him, why are you guys doing that? Because they're not. I go, do you know who Paul Stout is? He's like, yeah. I go, he's her fiance. He's like, yeah, we know that. And I go, how do you know that? Because they emailed it to us or they called us. And I go, why is the FBI first of all serving a civil document in the first place? And why are they serving it for a private party? Like, they're not married.
Mm-hmm.
And why is the county attorney acting as the private? Why is the county attorney's office acting as the private law firm of a dude? And why is the FBI and the county and the sheriff's office acting as a private police force for just some random private guy?
Really great questions.
And they refuse to answer, and that's when they just scurry off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what he told me. That's what he told me. And it's right there on the recording. You can hear it yourself if you go to YouTube or TikTok or wherever, where I put it up there. And then I request the documents of that visit, like all the records from the sheriff's office, and they tell me it never happened. That's what the guy first tells me at Public Records. We don't have anything. Well, then I go, okay, something's fishy here. So I do a complaint with Internal Affairs. April 24th, 2025. Story comes out about the dog shit, right? Stout gave his wife dog shit and blamed me
Which,
for
by
it.
the way, did the FBI ever come back for a follow-up after that? Never. Okay, go ahead.
No, they never did. April 24th, I find a police report with my name on it where Stout, just newly married, and it even says there in the report, Mitchell, when she says I was the one who did it, she goes, he doesn't know that we're married. He still thinks we're fiancés. It's like, how would she know what I thought? But, right? Isn't that kind of creepy?
Yeah, this whole thing's creepy.
But she says that, so in the police report on February 12th, 2025, Stout picks up a package from the mail. The next day, Stout tells his wife, Rachel Mitchell, there's a package for you on the front door. She goes up and opens up the package. It turns out to be dog shit. She freaks out because she's, a Karen. She calls the Phoenix police. Once whoever sent it prosecuted, they said, you know who could have done it? She names me. That's how I find the report. And then she orders,
Don't they have cameras on their...
Well, that's how we know he got it from the mailbox. Because it says right in the report, it shows her husband, Paul Stout, picked up the package on February 12th.
I know.
And so from him picking it up to getting in the front door, he was the only one who had control of it, right? I gave Lemons a copy of the report. He writes the story, and he puts in there that I'm saying Stout was the one who did it. And he did it to frame me for something I didn't do, right? I'm driving, I leave the house, and right by my driveway on the side of the road is a sheriff's deputy, right? And I'm like, okay, they're hassling me again. I take a picture of it. I tell my friend about it, Rachel Alexander. She calls or she texts Jerry Sheridan. So when the deputies first came to my house in August, Penzone was sheriff. Now it's Jerry Sheridan. You see, we have the text messages. Jerry Sheridan says, "I don't. There's no deputy at your house," because he had my address. I think he even had a picture of the car. It's like, "There's no deputy at your house. Maybe it's somebody retired, but there's nobody there."
Mm-hmm.
He was actually in Israel at the time, I think. I think is what he said. And then he goes, "I'm gonna have to." And then Rachel sends him the stories that she had written about me and some of Lemon's stories, including the dog shit. And he says, "I'm gonna have to look into this." And I mean, I'm just going off what's in the text messages. And he writes back. He goes, "You know what? I looked into this. Mitchell never told me one word about this. I've never heard about this before. I looked into it with my under sheriff, and we had nothing to do with it or any of it."
But there was an MCSO vehicle.
There's an MCSO vehicle at my driveway, right? Mm-hmm. So I know what it was. Stout wanted to kill me or harm me, so that her security overhears it or whatever. They put a deputy there to keep him away from me. That's obviously what it is. 8 years of living there, I've never seen a deputy park by my driveway.
Do you think it might have been the other way around?
What do you mean?
Well, if it's an offline MCSO vehicle, Sheridan, who I would say, he has integrity, right? He's not going to participate in a cover up like that, especially with between Rachel and you and Tex, and just so the fact that there was no on record vehicle there, maybe they were there to do something to you and not protect you.
He wouldn't, but he didn't do anything when I drove out. Because that's what I thought at first. I thought he was there just to harass me because of the story. But then I go, that makes no sense because I barely even noticed him because he was hidden by the side of the road.
So now later, weren't you telling me that then that the story changed though from MCSO, that there was a vehicle there for domestic violence?
No, that's that thing.
Okay.
Because then I did a public records request to get the information of why, like the official record of it, and they wouldn't give it to me. They gave me some story about domestic violence with a kid, but no. Okay. I mean, they're obviously going to come up with a cover story to cover for Stout. Because in those text messages, Sheridan said specifically, we had nothing to do with any of it. Yeah. So he said there was no record of those deputies coming to my house on August 23rd. That's what he said. We had nothing to do with any of it. He read her articles. He read Lemons' stories. We didn't have anything to do with it. So what the hell? That just reinforces the fact that it was.
Well, I can tell you my experiences with Dirty Cops at MCSO is in 2018. This was about a year into the frame job against me. And this actually is what, shortly before Jerry came on my old podcast, I was living in an RV, and I was in Camp Cabela's over there on the west side, and two G-plate vehicles come in on me, kind of a little tactical. Tint so dark I couldn't see through. I go out to try and grab my phone and film them with, I have my dog. Now we take a step forward, they would back up a couple, and it's just this little cat and mouse game. They eventually peel out of there. I go live on Facebook to because I'm tripping out. I call up Glendale. So I was in Glendale PD. I go, hey, you got 5 being surveilled? So I was on probation also. I had law enforcement interaction. I had to report to my PO. I had law enforcement interaction. They go, oh, no, Mr. Rose, we don't have any people there. But, other agencies operate in this area. I'm convinced at that point, because that's when I was whistleblowing a lot of my stuff on Ducey and Benzone. I think they were there to either plant drugs on me or, raid my RV and come up with an excuse to shoot and kill me. And it was not too long after that Jerry Sheridan came on my podcast, and we talked pretty openly about kind of what I was going through and things like that. So what I'm getting at is these dirty cops at MCSO and FBI and all these guys that are bad cops, they're gonna.
I just don't think they would do that under Sheridan, is what I'm thinking.
But what I'm saying is just because Sheridan's in there, it doesn't mean all the bad people are out.
Maybe it was just the way. I mean, you could be right. I'm just positive one way or the other it had something to do with me.
Well, obviously.
That's what I think.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just saying is that you're making an assumption that they were there to protect you from Stout. I would say that. I would say that if it's off, if this is just my opinion, if it's offline and Jerry's like legit, we didn't have officially anybody there. Well, if they were there to protect you from Stout, they would have officially been there. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think they would have been officially been there because they don't want anybody to know that he had threatened me. Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Who the hell knows?
Okay, so let's get to this.
But the important point was though he said they had nothing to do with what happened to me on the 23rd when I had 3 deputies at my house. Mm-hmm. So that was off the record. Mm-hmm. Why?